All right, get out of here
You
with
can
your
have
food
it with
pairings.
eggs if you want.
She did that.
I know, but that's disgusting. I think it's almost always you that pairs it with weird food. I like this about you. I think it's like you that typically is like, wait, this
I'm weird.
disgusting food pairing? Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I just got like this burst of energy. I don't know.
It should scare you.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Okay, ready?
Okay, let's go.
Yay.
Hello, and welcome to Spooky Sips, where we put our love of horror movies into a podcast and sip some spirits along the way. I'm one of your hosts, Ivette, here with my co-hosts, Laura and Brianna.
Hello.
Hello, and welcome to Spooky Sips. I don't know, guys. You know what? Like, we're not even drinking. Laura and I are not even drinking.
Neither am I.
None of us are drinking. Maybe that's sometimes I feel like that's when I get weirder, you know?
Yeah.
It's like,
Honestly, I get that.
Well, and you know, double features kind of do this when whoa. When we record two in a row, even if I've just been drinking you guys, I just went so basic. This year, I got motherfucking pumpkin spice tea.
Oh,
amazing.
I got pumpkin spice everything that they sell.
And I
amazing.
just didn't even know they made pumpkin spice tea, and I cannot tell you how delicious it is. And I'm smelling my pumpkin spice candle and sipping my pumpkin spice tea, and it's getting me weird.
No, honestly,
I don't even know what we were talking about.
Pumpkin. Yeah, I went and they sell pumpkin like cold foam, so you put it like on top of your coffee. So I have a pumpkin cold foam.
Because like I'm actually not a pumpkin spice latte girl, but pumpkin spice cold foam, like cold brew, that's my jam.
I love pumpkin anything. Like I think
didn't know you
pumpkin
could
is
buy, like, your
underrated.
own.
Like it's an underrated flavor. It's
Well,
so
and here's the thing. Like for me, it's not even about the pumpkin. It's about like the nutmeg, cinnamon,
Like the pumpkin
spice,
pie
like,
spice.
Yes, it's about
Spices.
that.
Yeah,
I know.
No, and I agree because I feel like normally pumpkin spice like lattes, they're just too much. But if you just get like one, like a little bit of the flavor, then it's perfect for me.
Yeah.
I love that we are 45 minutes into this episode and we haven't even said what we're watching.
Well, because I was talking about feeling weird because it's a double feature and I've just been sipping on this pumpkin spice.
We're just talking about pumpkin spice today.
There is something in this tea. I don't know.
So actually, we're not even, that's the whole episode. So go get us a pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time on
Go be
Spooky Sips.
basic. Go to a pumpkin patch.
Go to the craft store, go to the pumpkin patch.
Oh
I
my
don't
God,
even
yes.
care. I love it so much.
Amazing.
You gotta you gotta find the little joy in life.
Yeah, we're just doing our best.
Yeah, we really are. I think that's what we're all doing out there, you
We're doing
know.
our best to make it through.
Yeah.
So anyway, we watched a movie too.
We watched
did.
a movie. We did. It's from 1932.
Way back in the day.
Freaks. It's about a circus act. Circus group. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah.
I do feel weird. Am I drunk?
You might be.
My apple tea really went straight to my head. And there's ruckus happening. So I don't even remember. Was she trapeze?
Yeah, the trapeze artist.
Her and the strong man are gonna pull a quick one on so in the language in the movie is not the language we use today. They are the small people. The small
Little people.
Little people.
The general term would be little people because some people have dwarfism, some people have other things so it's just
anyways. All right, so Hans apparently has some wealth to him and she learns this and she's like, I'm gonna get him and we're gonna take his money and run. That's her big plan.
Yeah.
And it's actually really sad because Hans is going to marry, what was his fiance's name?
Frida.
Oh, because they're German and they have the cutest little German accents.
Hans and Frida.
Yeah. And she loves him. Frida loves him so much. And it's very sad.
She's heartbreaking in this movie.
Oh, no.
She'll cry like she is heartbreaking in this movie.
And so that's what the movie's about, you guys. And it's a wild ride.
Yeah. So I'm assuming neither of you had seen this before.
No, I
Don't tell
haven't.
you watched this one too.
Laura?
Here's the thing. I'm watching this and I was like, why have I seen this movie? I don't enjoy this movie. We'll get to that later. But like, I don't know if it was for a film class. Oh, I was going to ask my friend who was in the film class with me.
Well,
I don't
actually,
remember
we may have answered that last night because we were hanging out with our dad and we said the title and he goes, oh, the Todd Browning film.
Yeah.
Because our dad had seen it. So maybe you've seen it when we were younger. Like maybe dad was watching it once.
Maybe.
Because we asked our dad if we are related to Todd Browning. And he said probably. Because actually,
we're
apparently,
gonna assume yes.
No, because actually, apparently, we may be. So,
maybe?
Well,
really?
thank you very much. But our dad had seen the movie, so maybe that's how you had seen it, like
Maybe.
when we were younger.
I don't know, but I was like, oh my gosh, I've seen this movie, and I feel like I hated it the first time. Oh my god, I don't. We'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get in there. We'll get there. So yeah, I mean, it just starts off with a bang. We've got the.
It just starts like I feel it's very much so like a slice of life, know, you are just in this world now. Like you get to kind of meet all of the different characters by just like being in the conversation. Like you are just dropped in.
Well, and I love how like it kind of is just like a book maybe would start out kind of like with this narration. And I have to say the quote that was the like one of the opening things because I just loved the poeticism, I guess, of the quote. And so he's talking about, these freaks, basically people who are in a carnival that are outside the mainstream. And so he says, yet for the accident of birth, you may have been one of them. Yeah. And then he says something about offend one, offend them all. And I love that because I think that's something that people don't often think about. Where you're born, what happens to you when you're born, gene mutations randomly in utero, and like it is a total accident that we are who we are. Kind of like it really like we
don't control that part of
you don't control that like where you're born, kind of what like skills and physical and mental attributes,
your genetic makeup, right?
Like that is all just kind of this like random sort of accident, and it really it's a very kind of like I think humbling thing to think of, and just kind of realize the gifts of what you have, I guess. Yeah, or don't, but like. Yeah, I choose to go the more positive route. Right. So yeah. But anyway,
I'm notoriously the worst of our note takers. Like I don't take a lot of notes. I don't know, like while watching movies.
Yeah. I mean, I think we can start with like how it like starts as you get this like group, right? And this guy who's kind of like leading a group to something like they're about to see.
Okay. Yes.
They're about to see something, kind of leading them through. And we see like the group form around some sort of like, I don't even know what it is, like a little area cage, right? Like an area.
Yeah, it's like a box.
Box. Yeah. And we see one woman like react and like freak out.
In horror.
Like in horror. But we don't see what is in there. And then we cut to the story.
Yeah, like the traveling circus.
The traveling circus.
Yeah, and immediately my first thought was like, okay, well, I can see where American Horror Story for their freak show anthology got their inspiration. Because like so many of the characters, I was like, oh my gosh, I can immediately see
they're a direct
this
pull.
is where they got all their inspiration.
Yeah, they're a direct pull.
It had to be.
Because so we see like we see this they call her like the peacock of the air, and it's the trapeze artist, and she's like this beautiful, and it's so funny because they call her like a big woman, and it's just because she's in comparison, because then we have the other, some of the main characters is the little couple, Hans and Frida, and so like they keep referring to her as like a big woman, but like no, she's just like
average size.
Yeah, she's just like
she's a little tall.
Yeah, like right. A quote unquote average person when you're comparing her against the general population.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, then you see like all the characters, and it's all kinds of people who are kind of like marginalized from society, who have then like joined this circus group.
Yeah.
So it's people that are like missing limbs,
Siamese twins,
people that are like of extreme body makeups, like either very, very short, very, very tall and strong,
really muscular.
There's a bearded woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a person who is they call the person Josephine or Joseph Josephine. And so that person is like, but it's cut down the center like of their body like a vertical line down the center. So like the right, I might getting the right and left mixed up, but the right side is a woman and then the left side is a man.
Yeah.
There's also people with microcephaly, so basically like very small heads.
Right. So yeah, it's just an assortment. It's a pretty large group, but they're a traveling circus. So the way it's set up is they all have their little carriages, their little rooms that they all live in. And, you know, you can tell they travel around and they all perform. They have their little acts that they all do. And, you know, we immediately get to know some of the main characters are Hans and Frida. And that we get that they're betrothed, they're in love, they're German. And then we get the, you know, strong man and the trapeze artist who are just terrible people.
People.
Yeah.
And we can kind of tell that like they're new to the group and like not really in it. Like all the others, you can get the vibe that like they all are like a family. They all know each other well. Yeah, these two are like not in it as much.
Yeah.
You get that vibe very early on.
What's her name? Oh, Cleo. Cleo, the trapeze artist. Yeah.
But just little Frida loves Hans so much.
Oh, she's the best.
As she should, because they're engaged. And she's just like, she's all romantic. And he tries to kind of like be that with her, but then he'll immediately go from like being sweet with her to then Cleo comes and she's like, oh, you know, Hans, you're so nice and so wonderful. And oh, can I just borrow a little bit of money? And so like you can just tell she's instantly just taking advantage of him and making it seem like she's into him.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden Hans is being like a little cranky with Frida.
He is.
And she's like, you've never been like this. It's Cleo, isn't it? And she can tell that something is happening. And he's like, no, it's not. But it is.
And then we meet, before I knew her name, I just was calling her the pretty woman. So then there's Venus. And I'm not sure what she did in the circus.
I don't know.
I don't know that they ever get to that. But you can tell initially she was with the strong man. She was with like the hunk boyfriend. But like she breaks up with him because maybe she found out he was like cheating on her with Cleo. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he sucks.
Yeah.
That's why.
But it was weird the way that they broke up. Like she like decides to leave him. They break up and she just leaves her little trailer and just immediately goes into the clowns.
Right.
Yeah, no, it just immediately goes to the next one.
And like then they're a couple. And I'm like, oh okay.
I know, because at first I was like, am I missing something? But I got the vibe that like the movie's very short.
It is
just over an hour.
Like 1 hour long.
And I did see later that like a lot of it got cut. So I was like, maybe I'm just going to accept that like it's just, I'm not going to read too much into the story. I'm just going to take it for what it is. So I was like, I'm just going to watch.
Along for the ride. Yeah, totally. But yeah, like then all these like little storylines are happening. Among the whole Frida, Hans, Cleo love triangle thing.
Yeah. Like that's the main story.
That's the main story.
But then we get side one. I loved the sisters.
Yes.
Because one of them is engaged.
Yes.
And so, but like, again, they are different people. So it's like one of them is engaged and the other one is just so snarky to her fiance. Like anytime she wants to leave, he's like, no, like you have to stay. And she's like, I have to go somewhere. And he's like, you always say that. Like, so they both have to leave. Like I loved their story. Like the comedy they had with some of these things.
Because the sisters they're the conjoined twins. So yeah. So like, you know, can't really separate from your other sister.
Yeah.
No, the comedic timing with them was so funny.
Yeah. And then the other one gets engaged. So you get like the fiancés meeting being like, oh, you have to come visit us sometime. And like, it's just like, I loved it.
I know.
I love them.
I know, me too.
That was pretty
Me
interesting.
too.
Because that is always just such an interesting thing to think about. Like, if you were like literally attached to another person, that would, I mean, if it's the only thing you've ever known, it's the only thing you've ever known, right?
Yeah.
But like to both have like your own desires and personalities,
Right.
but then like not be able to get away from the person, like,
Right.
oh man.
So I just love how they kind of treated it like it wasn't, like there was no elephant in the room. Like I love, I just thought that was so funny, the way that they handled that. I know.
No, like when one of them is on a date, the other one's just reading.
Right.
Like it's just,
I know.
so good.
We also get like the bearded woman has a baby and like they all go to like support her. And I think they like, I don't know, again, they kind of like are able to kind of laugh at themselves, I guess. So they make light of the things that other people have probably like given them a hard time about their whole life.
Yeah.
Like I think they make some crack about the baby that I think because the baby's a boy, it's unfortunate because, you know, then the beard won't be an interesting thing or something like that.
Right. No, they do. Exactly.
Oh,
they,
there was something about that.
Yeah, they do. Like they kind of like own their own jokes. Yeah.
At one point I wrote down in my notes, I was like, Peacock, because this was before I knew her name was Cleo. I was like, Peacock's a little hussy. Because she's like, because then she invites the strong man in to her place. And for some reason, I think Josephine comes to their place and like the strong man goes and punches them. Because I don't know if like there was some sort of like a love interest either with him and that person or Cleo and that person. I don't know.
Is Josephine a woman?
Josephine is the one where it's like half down, half like the left half is Joe and the right half is Josephine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you remember that person?
No.
Oh, I thought it was an interesting scene. But anyway.
I remember the one where like the woman caught them kissing. Oh, is that what you're talking about?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I don't know.
Caught who kissing?
Strongman and Cleo.
Oh. No. No, I don't remember that. Okay. I don't know.
So anyways,
there's a bunch of other stories, other characters.
Yeah,
we'll just go back to the Hans, Cleo, Frida story.
So yes, Hans leaves Frida.
Yeah.
And goes with
because Frida kind of like confronts him.
Right.
It's like, hey, she like, what the heck?
Yeah, she confronts him and then that's the thing, like she is heartbroken, but she warns him and she was like, Cleo is laughing at you and she's using you and everyone knows it.
Yeah.
And then you see Cleo and Strongman basically like laughing about how he's sending her fruit, but she's like, oh, next time I'll ask for champagne. And he's just sending her all this stuff. And
it's very sad.
It's awful.
Yeah. And then, so Frida then also goes to confront Cleo where they knew that Hans had money, but she kind of lets it slip that he has like a really big inheritance.
Right.
That's where she's, it's like, oh, like, I'm sure you already know, like, but she lets it slip. And that's when Cleo's like, oh.
Well, shit.
Inheritance, you say.
Yes.
So
and that's when she's like, we got to kill Hans then so that I can be a widow and get
I got to marry him.
She's like, I'm going to marry him. I will get him to marry me. 100%.
Exactly.
Easy. Yeah.
And so then they instantly, and the timeline of this movie was a little weird because like, okay, so like for example, the conjoined twins, she was just engaged to the guy and then all of a sudden they were married. All of a sudden they were married and then the other sister was getting engaged. And so I feel like time was confusing because when I thought it was like the same day, like all of a sudden it was like months later or something. So the timeline was weird.
Part of that might have been that a lot was cut out. Like, so that could have been that was part of it.
Yeah. So suddenly she's like, oh, he'll get inheritance. So suddenly we're at their wedding.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're getting married.
And oh my gosh, the wedding was so sad
freaking
because
scene.
Frida is just silently crying.
She is so good. Like her face, every time they like showed her, it was just like heartbreak.
It really was
like, yeah.
She's just silently crying while like we as the audience kind of see that Cleo's like trying to poison his champagne.
Yeah.
And like she's getting drunk and like her and Strongman are like making fun of him right in front of him.
They're kissing.
She's seeing it.
They're kissing at the wedding
and Frida's
celebration.
watching it. Like it's so sad.
It's so sad. But okay, so then at this wedding feast, they're like all passing around this cup. And at first I was worried like, oh, that's the cup that's poisoned or something.
That's what I thought too.
That's what I thought.
It turns out that's not the case, but they're just like passing around this one giant champagne.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And they start like they realize because I guess she's married one of them, they say we accept her as one of us. Google gobble.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing like a little cheer.
Yeah,
like I'll take a sip.
Like cheering, chanting that. And I didn't like it.
Because they were like
it was
welcoming her
welcoming
to the
her
family.
But why Google gobble? Are you a turkey?
No, it's just like their cheer. It's like their chant.
I didn't like the Google.
I felt like that was just their thing. You know?
They were just like welcoming her.
Okay, wait, let's pause for a second. Because, well, not actually pause, but while we're talking about the big champagne they were passing around, we should probably talk what we're sipping on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now, there was 2 drinks that happened in this movie.
No, there wasn't. There was one drink.
There's a thing Laura's drinking, and then there's the thing
we're going to cut it out of the episode,
drinking.
so don't even worry about it.
You will not. If I tell you to cut it out, you won't. There was 2 drinks that happened. Let me explain, and then you can tell us if you think that we chose correctly or if we chose wrong and should have gone with my idea. At one point, when Cleo and Strongman are like hanging out in her trailer, she goes to like get him a snack. She's like, "Are you hungry?" So first she pours him a glass of wine. So they're drinking wine, and then she goes to get him a snack, and she's just got this big old basket of hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah.
So they're having red wine and hard-boiled eggs. And I thought that would have been a good pairing for the episode.
That just sounds gross.
I know, but it's a freaky combination. We watch Freaks. I like it. That was my vote. If
you want to go and try this cursed combination of eggs and red wine, I don't know why. That just feels so wrong. Like,
it feels very upsetting.
Cursed combo. Like that is just, that doesn't work.
I was also trying to explain that it's not like this is what you have for breakfast. It was an evening snack.
That's somehow worse. I don't know.
I don't think there is like a good time of day to have this. I think it's just bad.
I agree.
I stand by it. I'm going to make a setup of red wine and eggs and take a picture and you can post it to our Instagram.
In my mind, I didn't remember it was a hard-boiled egg, and I thought you were talking about like scrambled eggs, and I don't know which is worse.
Honestly, to me, that's worse. Because here's what. If you're going on like a picnic, you know, a hard-boiled egg is a good snack for a picnic. I could totally do red wine and hard-boiled eggs at a picnic.
What?
With like some crackers and cheese.
Yeah. No, that tracks.
Yeah, some fruit.
It's not too crazy.
I stand by it.
This is still very upsetting.
So that's not what we're pairing.
That's not what
we're not doing that.
We're not doing that.
Unfortunately.
Moving on. Vetoed. 2 to 3. What are we actually sipping on?
What we will actually be sipping on is, the other thing that they drink a lot of is champagne. And throughout the whole movie, we just see her pouring a little poison in it. So there is a champagne cocktail where it's just champagne, a little splash of bitters, and then you can also add sugar to it. Oh. So you can do like a little bit of bitter, a little bit of sugar just in your champagne. So it probably makes it a little extra bubbly. But that's what we're going to be
Are we thinking
on.
just like classic bitters or like any specific type?
So I have so many different bitters.
I have so many bitters
a lot
too.
of the different flavors.
Okay,
of
so
bitters.
you'll choose. And
yes.
Okay.
So I would say whatever sounds good to you, but just I love the idea of pouring just like a little something in the champagne.
I like
And
this
I would
idea.
suggest the flat champagne glasses, like the shorty champagne glasses, as opposed to the flutes, because I feel like they have had more of the shorty champagne glasses.
Yeah.
As was more
That's
the
true.
style in the 30s.
I think the bubbles could
and it
hold
matches
well.
better. And okay, I mean, bonus points. I do think she talks about how she wants like the finest French champagne. So if you can get French champagne,
that's the way to
make
go.
It extra good pairing.
I
That's
agree.
What we'll try to do.
I think that's the way to do it. So yeah, the wedding scene is sad, and then like they want her to take a sip, like to do a cheers. And at this point, I think Frida has left because she was so sad,
She's
right?
so upset.
Someone took her and like took her back to her carriage. And at this point, like Cleo's like just a mess. Like she's not okay. Like she's Hans is so sad and upset. And then
she shouts and calls them all freaks.
Yes. And she takes the big cup and she like throws splatters them with it all.
So mean.
All the other circus
they're
friends.
accepting her, and then she's just like, oh, so mean to them.
Yeah.
Terrible.
And then it just gets worse.
Oh, it goes downhill quickly.
Yeah, they like go back to her trailer at the end of the night.
No, at the wedding.
Oh.
They grab Hans and like start carrying him around like on their shoulders.
Like a kid, and he's not a kid.
Like actively making fun of him.
Yes.
Like the wedding, like I was so sad watching this. Like that was a hard scene.
Yeah, because like I don't even remember the strong man's name. I don't even know if he has a name, but him and Cleo are just like,
I think it was like Hercules, wasn't it?
Oh,
like,
it was.
Yeah.
It was because it was, and they're just taunting him the whole time and just like berating him and mocking him. And it's horrible.
Yeah.
Well, and then once they get back to the trailer, he's like looking sick because he's drank way too much and probably a little bit of it was poisoned.
Right.
And they're just gaslighting him.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Because he was upset how they treated his friends. And he was like, I can't believe you're treating my friends like this.
And him.
Well, right. Yeah. Right. Oh, and that like you were kissing in front of me and they're like, what are you talking about? Like,
yeah. So they're just fully trying to be like, oh, it's because we were drunk.
Right.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Everything's good. Like and then
he passes out.
Yeah.
But then she goes to get him medical attention, or sort of from whatever their doctor.
Yeah.
Right. Doctors. And so then she's like looked at as the hero for saving his life.
I know.
But you can tell most of them aren't falling for it.
Yes.
Like it's like immediate suspicion. Like when they're saying that it's poison, she's like, oh, did I do right by getting him the mustard seed or whatever? It's like, yeah, you saved his life. The woman who, I don't know if we know what her role is, but she's the one that was like with all of them in the garden. She's the one that takes Frida away when she's upset. Like she's like hard side eyeing.
Yes.
Yeah. Cleo.
She's like the mom of.
Yes. Like the mom of the group is what I got the feeling. Because I mean, I think you can tell that like he wasn't just drunk. She poisoned him as well, but then also gave him the antidote to like, not antidote.
Antidote, yes.
The anecdote.
I know
anecdote.
I didn't even catch that. Like
anecdote.
Anyways.
But then like Venus threatens to tell the cops. So Venus and the clown, like I feel like I didn't write down much about them, but they're kind of always there. They're like, they're like falling in love, or have fallen in love. And they're not visibly to the obvious eye like freaks, but they are part of the group.
And you can tell that they were Hans and Frida's good friends.
Yes, they're good friends. They're good people.
And so like they're worried.
Yeah. And she fully threatens Hercules. She's like, how about I go call the police about what was in that champagne bottle? Like,
But now Hans is like really sick and in bed.
Well, because Cleo's been, quote unquote, fixing his meds for like a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And he's just
and
staying
she's got this little vial that she has in her pants that she takes out and puts in his medicine, in quotes.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just poisoning him.
Mm-hmm.
And so like you can see that all of his friends are aware. So they're like hiding under the trailers.
They're like spying and stuff. Oh,
They're
and
like spying.
On this particular night, he spits it out.
Well, yes, because two of them come in the trailer because they're like, we just want to be in here. And I love that the one guy's like playing a little flute. And I love that the whole time this unfolds, he's just playing the flute the whole time.
Yeah, like that was his job in this.
And so she goes to give him the poison, but Hans spits it out. And he sits up. Hans sits up. And he's dressed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Cleo is like, what is this about? And the guy is still playing the flute.
Yeah.
And she looks, and one of his friends has a knife. And then the other friend has a gun. And the other friend is still playing the little flute.
Yes.
And we should say that while this is happening, this is a on the road night. So they're not like
they're
stationed.
traveling, they're moving.
Yes.
Yeah, they're not
very
stationed at a
rainy and
camp.
thundery.
Yes, it's stormy. They're on the move.
And it's wild because a lot of them like move in between carts.
Yes.
Like, while they're driving. We're not driving. Like,
but it is like,
cold.
it's pretty slow. Like, it's like somehow I never thought that would be an option.
Yeah, I was like, that's
Right.
wild.
Well, because I think like it is moving slow. So it's not that they're traveling with the horses for speed. It's just so that they can actually like sleep while they're still moving. So I think that they could pretty easily just run over to the next one and have it still be moving slowly on the horse.
I thought that was cool though. Yeah, never thought of that being an option.
Right.
Just hop out and hop onto the next one.
But you can tell that like this is a planned.
Yeah, because Hans had whispered to one of them, like right before that happened, he was like, tonight.
Yes, tonight.
Tonight is the night that we get her back. But yeah, so they're starting to gang up on her because they'd all been watching, they'd all been plotting. And then some of the carts crash because of the storm, and they're like on their sides, and it's go time.
Yeah.
So then Hercules, strong man, he tries to attack Venus.
Yes.
Yes, because she knew too much.
Yes.
She knew too much. But Frozo, I think, is the name of the clown, which but Frozo, then he stabs, doesn't he stab Hercules?
Because I think Frida had heard that he was going to go attack. So I think Frida told him, and that's why he went to go check on Venus to make sure. And that's when he saw the strong man start attacking Venus.
Yes.
So Hercules is hurt. He's down. And then you see all the people, like some of the group, they had been like waiting, like hiding under like the carts and stuff. And that you just see them starting to crawl. Toward Hercules.
Like
it was so creepy. I loved that.
Yeah, like dark, stormy night. The carriages of like crash. Like it's, very creepy.
We see them crawling toward him because he's hurt. We see others chasing after Cleo. We don't fully see what happens to her.
Yeah, like we know Hercules is gone, right?
Yeah, Hercules, he's been stabbed.
But with Cleo, we don't.
But with Cleo, we just see them get her, but we don't know what happens.
So that's when we cut back, which like honestly, at this point, again, this movie's not even that long. So that maybe it's just my memory. I completely had forgotten the beginning.
Me too.
The completely spaced.
I did too. I was like, wait, what? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. No, they were here. Yes. So we cut back to the group around the box. I don't know what it is. The box.
Pit, something. The
pit.
A viewing area.
Yeah. And now we get to see what's in there.
I don't know how I feel about this part.
And you like hear it first, I feel like.
Oh, maybe. I just forgot that part.
I feel like I heard a chicken.
Yeah.
I think I was so alarmed
because
like
we knew that it was something because part of it was like we even in the IMDb description we knew that like they were going to get back at Cleo.
Yeah.
right?
Well, we had heard, like, even initially, like at the very beginning, he had said this was once the most beautiful woman.
Right.
So we
okay,
did
So like
yeah.
we
actually hear
knew that they did something. And so
Yeah.
like we're like
You forget.
panning down to her and you hear a chicken. And
Yeah.
you're like, what?
Yeah.
And she was like a chicken woman.
Yeah, it was
half woman,
Cleo,
half chicken.
but a chicken.
It was her
Yes.
face, but on a
Oh, a chicken.
Now when I say on a chicken's body, you have to grow the size of the chicken to be like a human-sized chicken.
Yeah, like it wasn't just her
Yeah.
face. It was like her body morphed into a chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like a human chicken.
like a human
Yeah.
chicken.
I kind of
Yeah.
intentionally didn't look too long, but yeah.
And,
It was
you know,
amazing.
just medically, scientifically, this is where the movie lost me a bit.
No, I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Because actually for the time, like it looked amazing.
Yeah,
And actually,
yeah,
like
that's true.
for
Because
the time, like
Mhm.
this was fucked up.
this was almost
Like
90.
this was dark.
This was almost
Mhm.
93 years ago.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, while I was watching it, I was like, I don't really get how this is a horror movie. Until that end scene.
Right,
That
the
end
end
scene makes it a horror movie.
Like that's dark.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because it really, like, I think it's like categorized as maybe cult horror or something.
Yeah.
But for most of
drama.
it,
Like
Mhm.
plotting to kill a man is dark.
it's dark, but it's
Yeah.
not really horror.
Right.
But
No,
this
yeah.
scene is where it gets that credit.
Yeah.
Well, and like I had heard that like it had been a lot darker and they had cut a lot out because like
Mhm.
it was too much.
Like people
Yeah.
weren't ready
That
for it.
people it was like
People were
we
not
can't
ready for
we
it.
can't release that. Like cuz really for the time this was like a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then how do you both feel about, because I think the movie could have ended here, but then there was an
Yes.
extra scene.
Mm-hmm. And it originally did end there. And they were like, we want
lighten it?
something to lighten this up.
Yeah.
Oh,
So this final thing was added.
see,
Mhm.
I feel like it kind of took away from the shock ending of the chicken woman.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it, if they were going to put this in, they should have done before they couldn't have, because I didn't like it. I felt like it kind of took, like, why put that such a shocking scene in just to try to
Mhm.
dilute it right after?
Yeah. No, I feel like it was pretty clearly them trying to lighten it up a bit.
any memory of what you're talking about. So I need to
Oh, so we then get Hans in like a study, and we get someone coming up saying like, hey, you have visitors. And he's like, I don't take visitors. I literally don't see people anymore.
That's right.
Like,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we see Venus and the clown and
Rosa.
Frida. Yeah. Like,
Yeah, and
innocent.
Frida goes to him and he's very sorrowful and sad.
Yeah, and she's like comforting him. And I screamed at the TV, "You're too good for that, Frida.
Yes.
Why are they doing
agree.
this?"
I agree.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was just them trying to lighten it up. I think they could have
No,
just
I
ended
agree.
it with the
The
shock.
chicken woman should have been.
And I was mad
Cluck and
because
done.
Frida deserves better.
She does deserve better.
Mhm.
Oh, she gave her whole heart to that man.
She sure
And
did.
he,
The
Yeah.
chicken
Ruined.
should have.
was greedy.
there.
because he had all the money he could need, but he was greedy for what he
Insane.
couldn't have.
Yeah.
Oh,
I agree.
Yeah.
That bird was done.
Yeah.
that bird was cooked.
Put a fork in her.
You know the little red thing that pops up when
Yes.
you cook your turkey?
Anyway,
Turkey's
that was
cooked.
Freaks.
That was freaks.
That was freaks. Freaky.
Yeah,
Freaky Friday.
yeah. That's a good
Yep.
movie.
Wow.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot here.
Yeah.
Another
I was
life.
like intimidated to think of Psych for this.
I think
I'm not going to lie to you,
I understand that.
Yeah, I get
Mhm.
that.
but I'm
Mhm.
kind of excited with where I went.
I mean,
Oh,
just
okay,
remember,
sweet.
she's not a real doctor. But unfortunately, that chicken woman wasn't real either.
Yeah.
So it's okay. I wish she was. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the chicken woman.
Oh my
I really
gosh.
did. I don't think I can speak highly enough of her. So
But you know what I do wonder, speaking of real and not real,
take us away.
I do
Mhm.
wonder, and I don't know this because I don't look up the fun facts, were a lot of the actors, or do either of you know if many of the actors in this movie were just playing themselves? Like, do you know, like, were the people that, you know, were the little people or that had missing limbs, were they playing, like, were they real characters or like real people playing these characters?
Yeah, they were real. And I think that was kind of a big push that Todd Browning had made, was finding people with like that like really performed in these types of like shows.
Okay.
And so these were all just real people that they brought in.
Okay.
Because it was of the era that there were these kind of like circuses and performances. So like I think that was a big part of it.
Yeah. This isn't like prosthetics and effects.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Which is actually like kind of nice and empowering, but also we'll kind of get, so Psych is going a little bit more sociological tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's fitting though.
Mm-hmm.
And also one of the reasons why is because this movie was made in 1932. We had no DSM until 1952. So this was 20 years ahead of any diagnostic and statistical manual.
I guess I never thought about that.
They just didn't have mental health issues before then, I guess.
No, they didn't. Yeah. No, that's what lobotomies were for, you know?
What's really interesting though is even though they didn't have like you know, the DSM, they did still intervene or like try to treat. And actually something that happened in the 30s was something called the mental hygiene movement. And it was kind of this like, I guess, movement or push for improving mental health care for people, and making it like preventing some mental health illness, educating people on mental health, and kind of like reforming some social policies. Because we'll talk about this in just a minute, but like kind of up until then, it was like if you had a deviance from the norm, it's like you either hide it or you exploit it, like kind of like a quote unquote freak show, kind of like make money off of it. So this got me thinking, because I feel like everyone in this movie, in the show, well, most of them, are this deviation from quote unquote a normal person. And I hate that word normal because nothing is normal, right? Like everybody's normal is different. But then that got me thinking about one of my favorite classes in undergrad. And I believe this was the class, which was the reason why I picked sociology as my minor, because I found it so interesting. I had a class, you guys, on deviance. And so I busted out my deviance book. This is Constructions of Deviance, Social Power, Context, and Interaction.
What is the cover? Is that just a finger?
It's a finger pointing at a ruler. And guys, I'm not sure. I don't understand it.
What do you think that means?
Measuring human
deviance?
Like changes and deviance. The human experience. I don't know. So let's talk about that a little bit, about what is deviance. So essentially that is this, it's basically just different from the usual or accepted standards.
Okay.
A lot of times when you're talking about deviance, you're also talking about like a violation of what is normally considered like usual or accepted standards. So I like to think of this as, I think this class, this deviance class, is what formed my obsession with watching things like true crime and serial killers and cults and multi-level marketing, because I feel like it's just an extreme form of human experience that is very deviant from what I would consider acceptable.
I can see that.
Yeah.
So like, especially socially or physically, especially in this movie, these characters have this deviance from what might be considered normal.
Yeah.
But so then I was reading through this book, and honestly, you guys, I kind of want to read it again, because I was just going through the first chapters where it's defining deviance, and I was only reading the parts that, you know, my little 19-year-old Laura underlined, and it's just so interesting. So there's a few ways you can have a perspective of deviance. One is this absolute perspective. And this might get a little political. I don't know. There's this absolute perspective of deviance. And that is where there is something obvious within an act, belief, or condition that makes it different from the norm in everyone's eyes. So that would be if you have this absolute perspective of deviance. I've got a lot of problems with that because everyone's eyes are not the same.
Right.
But I think in this movie, in Freaks, it could be like the deviance that we see could be the extreme sizes. So like the dwarfism, the giants, the microcephaly, it could be not clearly fitting into these dichotomous categories that were really the only accepted thing in the 30s. So like man or woman.
Right.
Or rare conditions like the conjoined twins. So that's kind of the deviance, like physically, that these characters had. So that would be this absolute perspective. But then there's also, instead, you could take this social power perspective. So here's where it's going to get a little political. So
here we go.
This is posing that deviance is not arbitrarily formed by groups of people. It's a reflection of the people with the greatest social power. So the people with the greatest social power, it's their interests and concerns that define what is then deviant. And like it goes on further to kind of talk about how society is made up of people whose interests conflict with each other.
Yeah.
Right? Like if there's one pie and we all want a piece, the more pie I take, the less pie there is for you to take. So it's kind of like people view a lot of things in society, like money, success. They view it kind of like in this terms of like a pie. So like the people that have, we're the ones with the knife, the people with the ones with the power, they're going to take all the pie for themselves because they don't want others to have it because people are just greedy.
Right.
So the people in power create these norms, quote unquote norms, as a way to keep power away from people that are different from them. Because if me as someone that may look based off of the power structure normal, if I allow someone who is different from me to also have equal opportunities for success, that somehow is threatening.
Yeah.
To the person in power. It really gets very actually depressing to think about this.
Well, right.
Yeah.
But so in this movie, and like you can tell me to just shut up and get off my soapbox, but
no. But yes,
get on
continue.
the soapbox. It's
no, continue.
So people in this movie, and just in reality, people that are born into categories outside of the norm. They have done nothing to inherently be deviant. But because they are put by society in this group, so people that are, little people, because they're put by society in this group of people that are deviant, they then might also start to socially and internally become part of the deviant group as far as things, not just physically.
Right.
Like that other like deviant behavior, unaccepted socially behavior, or like a group of, circus people.
Right.
So another thing that again was brought up by the book, and I'm actually going to like pull up some of the categories. They talk about middle class norms, that is kind of in our society. And let's see when this book was made. Because this book is when you play the Jeopardy music. Oh, okay. So this book is 2006. So like almost 20 years old.
Oh, that's crazy.
But it talks about that really like in our society that what is considered a norm is these middle class values. And so that anything that falls outside or is in opposition to the middle class values is going to be considered deviant. So in this movie, physically, these people might be considered deviant because of how they were born, But because of that, people have a hard time accepting differences. So they might think, oh, because you look differently than me, I'm going to automatically assume that morally or behaviorally, you're going to be different than me too. So like a norm for, so just some examples, a normal, or a norm for middle class value would be like privacy. They might value privacy. So they're going to assume that these people that look different from them are going to like intrude on their privacy.
Yeah.
Like they'll engage in theft or burglary or spying or something. Or like a norm would be responsibility. So then they're going to assume these people that just because they look different from them, they're going to be irresponsible. Or a norm would be moderation. So then deviance from that would be like hedonism. So you're going to assume that these people who are in this group are going to engage in this deviant behavior. Or like a norm is honesty. So you're going to assume these people are like liars, deceitful, selfish.
Interesting.
A norm is peaceful and courteous. So you might then assume that these deviant people will engage in disruption or be like rude. So it's just kind of interesting, like to see what a deviance is to a quote unquote middle class norm.
Right.
And then realize that because people are bad at understanding group differences, they're going to assign these categories.
Yeah.
So it really leads to my next topic of psych it really leads to stigmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a stigma is a negative or discrediting attitude or a belief or a label that you associate with either a group or an individual person. And then it's going to lead to things like being prejudiced, discriminating, excluding.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what's happened with the characters in the show. So back in the 30s, as that kind of you were saying too, like it often led to people that belong to these social groups, like either being like hidden away or institutionalized or then exhibited, like put on freak shows, like, you know, to be taken advantage of. And then this isn't really like psych, but it gets to what psychologically they were going through is around the 30s when people would have various conditions that fell outside the quote unquote norm. A lot of times what happened was doctors took a very medical approach to intervention. Like, oh, you were born with like no limbs, will like give you prosthetics. That was a thing that kind of existed then. Or you were born with, you know, unclear gender. We have to assign you one. We can't let it be ambiguous. That was more the approach that they took at the time, is to medically intervene. Or like, oh, you have a mental health thing. We're going to, they would like induce like insulin comas for people.
What?
Like, where did okay, wait, hold on. Let me see if I can find, where did that go? Okay, so here are some typical treatments to like mental health things in the 30s. Yeah, there was insulin coma therapy. So they would inject large doses of insulin to kind of like reset your brain functioning.
Nice.
That's insane.
There was also like convulsive therapies. It's not like it is now. It was, so, you know, now that still exists, but it's more of like a gentle kind of actually like helping to rewire some pathways. There it was kind of just like frying you a little bit.
Oh my God.
Lobotomies and psychosurgeries happened. I think a lot, like one of the biggest ones was just sedating people.
Right.
No.
Just sedate them, kind of and that was more like get them out of our way instead of like actually treat it. Or like custodial type therapies. And this would be things like, just putting them away, putting them in institutions, putting them in isolation, like the straitjackets, just kind of like confining them, which is really sad, our understanding of it now. My last point is last week we talked about learned helplessness with Black Phone.
Mm-hmm.
So to end this kind of depressing psych segment on a positive, I actually feel like the characters in this movie, they took the opposite approach. So even though society has been telling them that they're deviant and they're wrong just because of the way that they're born or physical attributes that they have, they very well could have taken that path of just this learned helplessness. Like, I'm good for nothing. I can't make money. I'm wrong. I'm invalid, whatever. No, they instead, like, even though they were marginalized by society, they decided they're going to own it and like celebrate their uniqueness. Even if it kind of ended up being a bit exploitative because people are like paying money to gawk at them, I feel like in this movie, they were owning it. Like they were proud of what they were doing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And they like were proud of the group that they were into.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a positive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're so positive.
I did still have a really hard time watching this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know, like thoughts on like the deviance or the stigma or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think because it's just so like, it's hard. I think it's so hard to watch outside of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's impossible to know how it would have been during that time. Yeah. Like we watch it 100 years later and we're like, oh my God. Right. But like, I can't imagine what it would have been to be in that era.
Yeah.
And be one of those people. Like you just, it's impossible to like wonder, you know?
Yeah.
Like it kind of, to me, I feel like this movie seems like pretty progressive, I'm guessing, for the 30s.
Because I actually will say, like, when we originally like thought of doing it, I was like, ooh, this could be dicey. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, this could be, but I will say, like, watching it, like, I actually was surprised. I think it actually, I was really surprised by it. Because I will say there was such a like togetherness and camaraderie between the group that like they were a family. They were like so proud of who they all were. And they were so, it mattered so much that they all stayed together and protected each other.
Yeah.
And I loved that about the movie. And so I think like that was something that like transcended how they were viewed. If they were the outside, like that didn't matter. Like they were their own group. They were outside of any judgment from anyone else because that's just who they were to each other, you know?
Yeah. No, I think in a lot of ways it was definitely progressive, especially considering it came out in the 30s. And we can talk about it a little bit, but like it was not well received.
Yeah.
So I feel like there were parts that were progressive. I think there were parts that are still not great. I do think some of the actors that were in it even later said like they weren't happy with it or taking part of it. Like it, you know, some of them were. I think that's kind of like an everyone has their own experience kind of thing. So I feel like there were parts of it that seemed very progressive, especially considering it came out 90 years ago.
Yes.
Because as much as there was problems with it, I do feel like they were trying to show the people in the show shouldn't just be gawked at, that they're, you know, this sounds horrible because obviously like that they're real people, like the obvious.
Right.
But I feel like they were trying to take that, I think, approach.
Like it felt like there was an actual story there.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it was about the people. It wasn't about it was an actual story.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the villains were Cleo and Hercules. Like they were the villains in
exactly.
This,
yes.
you know? Yeah.
But yeah, so that's like a little bit of more like a sociological perspective on what I feel like was going on in this movie.
I think that was a really good way to go about this.
I am just like so like thinking that I might go back and read this Constructions of Deviance because I just remember how interesting this book was. And this more gets into not just physically deviant. This more gets into like people that like break the law and like engage in violations against other humans. So it gets into that, which is like so disturbing, but I don't know, fascinating, I guess.
Yeah. Plus, like, I'm sure there will be a movie where you could hit us with some more knowledge. So if you need an excuse, I'm sure we could find a movie.
Because I just remember, it's so funny because like I knew I had that book because when I was thinking of this, I was like, oh, I remember I kept that book because that class was like one of my favorite classes in all of undergrad because it was just so interesting.
Yeah.
So,
no, that's cool.
Nice.
Okay, we can get to some fun facts. So the movie is based off of a short story called Spurs by Todd Robbins. It follows like a kind of similar story that we saw. I think the characters had like different names. So like Hans was Jacques, Cleo was like Jean-Marie. So like they made some differences, but like the overarching story was, I think, the same. I'm pretty sure Todd Browning wanted to do this, so he like convinced MGM to buy the rights to it. Near positive that's what happened. So it was definitely inspired by the short story. And then also apparently Todd Browning worked at a circus in his youth. Like when he was a kid, he worked at a circus. So like he also took some inspiration from his experience there.
Okay.
As we already kind of talked about, it was not well received by anyone. At pretty much every point. So they filmed it at like a lot, like a studio lot, you know, like you would a normal movie. And people didn't like seeing the actors there. So there were like stories about how they had to like they literally couldn't go to like the canteen, like where everyone that's on the lot would normally go get food. Like they would have to have their own like separate area. So like it was hard.
Is that because just discrimination against them?
Yep. People just saw them and they were like, I don't want to look at them. Yeah. Yeah. Like people would like complain to the studio.
So
to be
exactly
like, oh my God.
The stigma that I was talking about.
No,
that's
like
bullshit.
the stigma was alive and well. I
mean, I'm not, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. No. So it was basically Todd Browning got a lot of street cred because of his earlier movies and then like giant success that came from Dracula. So they were kind of like, make whatever you want.
Yeah.
You're great. And he made this, and I think it took like a lot of convincing to let them keep making the movie. Because even at the studio, people were like, I don't want to see these people here. Like what is happening? So even while filming, they experienced a lot of that.
Yeah.
And then the movie was originally 90 minutes, like a normal movie length. Brianna already talked about it, but they cut half an hour of this movie. So there were a lot, like that's a lot of movie. They cut down a third of the movie to try to make it fit more of, I guess, what palatable. They wanted. Yeah. And I mean, I feel like you could tell there were cuts, like while watching it, where it was like
with the timing. I was like, wait, what? They're already like, So, see, they were trying to make it fit into more of the middle class norms.
Yep. Well, and then apparently there was like, I think it was one theater in San Diego that had gotten the original cut of it, like the 90-minute. And apparently they showed it, and then they advertised it, the fact that they had cut 30 minutes. So they were like, come watch it. Come watch the original uncut version of it. Oh my
gosh.
So they were able to show, they like sold out. So that one theater got to show it. But other than that, I do think the longer version is gone.
Wow.
I don't think it exists anywhere.
Okay, because I was wondering, I'd kind of want to watch that.
Right?
Yeah.
So, to see like what they deemed inappropriate. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was definitely maybe not like fully banned, but definitely not shown in a lot of US like states and cities. They had a really hard time just getting theaters to accept and show it.
Yeah.
And in the UK, I thought this was crazy. In the UK, it was banned. This movie came out in 1932. It was banned until 1963.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So it was incredibly poorly received. They did not get very much money from it. I
Damn.
don't think they made like the amount that they spent back. Like it
That's
was not
crazy.
successful at all until.
I'm curious, like
Mhm.
what the reason would have been for its banned.
It's just inappropriate.
I mean, this is horrible to say, but like people don't like seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
People wouldn't like seeing it.
Well, I mean, I can get them not showing
see,
it because they think you're not going to make money.
No, it's banned because like that seems like I think they would have used the word vulgar. Like that's vulgar.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
literally,
Like
I think
a
that's
human
how
with
they would have described
The
it.
way they're born is vulgar. Okay. This is
Mhm.
going to just piss me off, this conversation.
No, I mean, it's so like again, you watching it, it's like, wow, this was kind of progressive. Like that's cool that it got
Right.
made and they were able to get real people with these like real experiences to like come and be in the
Right.
movie. And like it makes you think like maybe there was some progressive stuff happening. No, absolutely not. The studio
Right.
was not happy. I swear I saw something that I think MGM tried to kind of like be like, yeah, we're so brave for doing this. Like they tried to kind of be like, yeah, we support it. Like
Yes.
in the like after, but
Right.
it was not well received until like basically the 60s. I think it had this like resurgence where people started rewatching it, and that's when it got that more like cult following and more people started hearing about it. So it was like 30 years after it was released that people kind of went back to revisit, and why like even though I hadn't seen it, I'd heard of this movie before. Like I think it's very much so still one that like people talk about. But it was not when it came out. Oh, okay. One fun fact that I thought was good is the actors that played Hans and Frida, they are siblings. They are brother and sister. So that's why they're like didn't have like really like romantic
intimate scenes.
Like there were no intimate scenes. That was very intentional, which like I which is like is interesting because I didn't really realize that until after. Because I feel like
you know what, that makes sense. Actually,
acting was so good, and that like you could see like the love. Where I was like, oh yeah, you didn't need
that's
like
cute
intimate scenes.
No,
Like,
they really
worked.
didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it actually worked because like we did have like a very romantic like dinner scene with them.
Right.
It wasn't like physically intimate.
There was no physical, right?
But like it right from the beginning,
they had a connection.
Like, and right from the beginning, it was like the connection was dwindling because he was starting to like kind of cheat on her. So like it made sense that they weren't like hot and heavy making out or whatever, because already he was distancing himself.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No. Okay. And then I think honestly, we talked about a lot of the other fun facts we were talking. The last one I had, and while I watched it, Matt watched it with me. After the scene, we were like, wait, that was so cool. The man that has like no arms and legs lighting the cigarette, who he like lights the match.
Yeah.
Apparently that scene was originally longer, where he rolled the cigarette too. So like he rolled the cigarette and then lit the match. And like, why would they delete that?
Yes.
Right. Like, I'm sorry, you could have used those extra 5 seconds.
Oh my God, that's cool.
Like
right.
that, I just like, why cut that? Like that was just one of the scenes.
I know, of all
seen.
the things to cut. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. How fun.
So,
all right. Well, our ratings are going to be interesting, because I saw, I don't know. All right. Here on Spooky Sips, we don't give stars. We give sips. It's out of 5 sips. What are we going with?
This one's hard for me because if I'm understanding it correctly, I do appreciate what they were trying to do. Like trying to take a bit of the stigma out, trying to make it be more empowering. So I do appreciate that. I liked the shocking chicken woman at the end. That was, I think that's kind of scary.
What made it a horror movie. Like I think if you don't have that, it's not a horror movie.
If you don't have that, it's not a horror movie, like at all.
It's just a drama.
But I didn't enjoy watching it. I felt like I liked some of the characters, but the story, the way like it was a short movie, but I still feel like it felt disjointed. Like, and maybe that's because of the editing.
Yeah.
So while I can appreciate it in its historical sense, I didn't like it. I gotta go with a 1.
Oh my God.
I didn't like it. I didn't like the movie. It made me uncomfortable, and I am okay being uncomfortable if it made me uncomfortable not because of what I was watching, but because of like how I guess just like historical context wise, like it felt a little bit like gawking. I didn't like that.
Yeah,
and I could
see
appreciate
that.
It seemed like it was trying to not do that, but it still felt like it was doing it, and so I didn't like it.
I didn't get that at all. Yeah, I didn't get that. Because like to me, I'm like, it's a balance, right? Because like, how do you balance just never having like them not be seen then? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right. No, I think, and that's what I meant. I feel like there's a way to do it and not have it have felt like that, but maybe that's.
And to me, I feel like, yeah, and I think it's such a small touch of like the villains were the most quote unquote normal people in the movie, and I think that was a small thing that went a very long way. And it was the fact that like there was so much connection between the people that I actually did like watching it. And sometimes old movies, it can be a hit or miss depending on the director, the style, the filming. I agree, but I actually did like watching it. But also it wasn't super horror. And the editing and the timeline was weird. So it there was a lot left.
I think I have a hard time with like old movies too. So I feel like that's part of it for me. Like it felt like an old movie.
Which I love old movies. So I think for me, that's where the difference is. So like, I think for me, I'm going to give it a 2.25.
Okay.
And I actually would say like, if you like the style, the older style of movie, it actually is good. And I actually think like it does justice to the genre and the topic. In my opinion.
Okay. Yep.
Like I think it does not, it's not overly exploitative in my opinion. I'm not saying it isn't at all because my God, how isn't it? But it, in my opinion, is not like harmfully. Yeah. 2.25.
You seem conflicted.
I know. Well, I feel like it's hard. One, because I feel like while watching it, I truly do feel like it wasn't really a horror movie. I think that's like I think part of my struggle is like in a lot of ways, it wasn't really a horror movie, but I actually feel like it was a really good drama. Like I think those kind of slice of life movies I kind of enjoy, like the ones where they just throw you in and it's like, here's the world. You're now a part of it. Watch it. Like there's conversations, there's relationships. Like we're not going to, you don't get really an explanation. Like you're just in it now. And like, it was funny in a lot of scenes. Like it was sad in a lot of scenes. Like I felt all the emotions while watching the movie. So like when it ended, I was like, oh my God, that was like great. Like that really took me through it. Like there's a lot to think through with this one. And there's something to a movie that kind of forces you to ask all these questions. So I feel like it was a really good drama with a slice of horror. So I feel like I'm like much higher than you guys. I think I'm going to do like a 3.5.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Like I think it's worth watching.
Yeah.
And it's different from a lot of other movies. There is some weird editing. Like you can, again, they cut half an hour of this movie out. Like it's, there's some weird editing. There's, it's, but like, I actually think I really enjoyed it.
I want to go to 2.5. I'm changing mine to 2.5. My 2.5 needs to go higher than 2.5.
And it's so hard for me because like, I'm going to stick with my 1 because I felt like I didn't enjoy it.
No,
while watching
rating.
But I don't want that to, like, I'm not giving it a 0. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like I think like it was a terrible movie.
No.
I loved some of the acting. I loved some of the humor, and I loved like some of the stance and messaging.
No, I think it's
just that I didn't love the experience of watching the movie.
No, I think it's good.
our reviews are very subjective. Like, we're not
Yes.
trying to say like, oh, just objectively our cinema score is this number based on all these things. Like, I mean, they're supposed to be subjective. Like, sometimes we like the movie, sometimes we don't.
And I actually think I like the ones where we disagree, because that's part of the beauty of Spooky Sips, is that we have 3 different opinions.
This movie was not my style.
You know?
Yeah, and that's all right.
I'm going for a horror movie. I wouldn't choose this.
Right?
Yeah.
Ugh.
If I'm going for a conversation about deviance and sociology, and like, then absolutely I choose this movie.
That's different.
But for a horror movie, not my style.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. Don't go into it if you're like, oh, I want like an old classic spooky movie. Go watch Dracula.
Yes.
Yes. That's what you're looking for. Go watch Todd Browning's other work.
Yes, exactly. All right. Well, because of the inspiration, we thought we would mix it up and do something that we have not done on Spooky Sips. We're watching a series. This is going to be exciting. So how we will be doing it is we will watch the whole series, and the episode will be our collective take on the series.
Yeah. So definitely not as many big breakdowns.
No, we're going to talk about it from an overview. So you can either just start watching it, or maybe you've seen it in the past, but we will be watching American Horror Story Freak Show Anthology. I don't know which one that is. It's somewhere in the middle. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, I don't remember the number, but
you'll figure it out.
I honestly don't remember if I finished watching that one.
I have not. I started it and I haven't finished it.
You guys, I have finished. Okay, so
because I have to say,
I watched it and finished it.
First one that I didn't love, so I didn't finish it.
And like there are other, like I have seen Coven 5 times.
American Horror Story
all the way through.
Almost 10.
Like there's so many that I've seen. Yeah, Murder House. Oh, like my favorite. Something about Freak. I think I just stopped watching. Like I just forgot about it.
Same.
So I think it'll be. Yeah,
I'll talk about it once we talk about it. But I have some thoughts.
And that will be the one that wraps up October for us. So it'll be very exciting. So get watching, get sipping, and we'll see you next time on Spooky Sips.
Bye. Okay, bye. I feel like I always start the bye, so I was trying to not start the bye.
Thank you for listening to Spooky Sips. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you're listening. To stay up to date on all the spooky things we're up to, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at SpookySips_podcast. And if you want to help support the podcast, consider buying us a coffee, or really a cocktail. We are completely independent, so every little bit goes a long way to keeping our podcast running and improving. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.